Hey y'all, welcome back. This is Talk Your Shit with Deajane, where we drop the eye because not only can I talk my shit, but I want you to talk your shit too. So we're gonna be tuning in to part 2 of the conversation with my little brother for emotional neglect. This week we're talking about people pleasing, trusting, how hard it is. Low self esteem. What has he come across, or what is impacting him right now due to like the emotional neglect he has felt coming up within this family, within our household, and different things like that. So get ready, tune in. Here goes the video episode. I don't know. Enjoy. But yeah, so do you feel like, because I know you're still young and it may come up for you now, maybe, I don't know, because I don't remember when it actually showed up for me, but do you feel like, have you ever heard of like people pleasing? Do you feel like you are a people pleaser?
Um, yeah.
In what ways?
I think my personality definitely changes when I'm not around. Even like anybody in our family that isn't mommy, I kind of change
Mm.
a little bit. Um, Especially in school, I know like I change a lot just to make sure like I don't get in trouble with the teachers.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
Also,
Mm-hmm. Because we definitely got emails. Mama talking about I need to get on you, but I told her I'm not doing that. She got to do it. But we definitely got emails, and yeah, I fight you. Keep on, but sorry, keep going. People pleasing.
um, also sometimes with my friends too, I kind of maybe tone down my personality. Because honestly, I'm probably the most open with my friends, but also I kind of tone down that energy because I'm very, very loud and very, like, I guess, outspoken. But I also can be like a push off, maybe, I guess.
Or push over. Is that
Or,
what you're trying to say? Push over? Or what do you mean push off? Because I ain't never
or
heard of
like,
push off. Push
like,
over? Push over. Mm-hmm. Elaborate. What that mean?
like I'm I guess like rude but not
You?
intentionally.
You rude?
I'm not
I can
rude
believe it.
intentionally.
I can believe it. We're all rude, and it's okay. Okay, you mean it's okay. We're all mean.
um but yeah, I definitely tone down my personality a bit with my friends. But they know me like
The best.
yeah.
So, what do you think will happen if you show up as yourself fully?
Um one instance that like happened was we were at a show and it was me and my two other friends, and um I guess I wasn't getting as much like attention as I wanted, so I kind of got upset a bit. And
A bit,
not a
a bit.
but but we had brought food and the
Mm-hmm.
performance was going on, so I was gonna wait till the applause to take out the food from the bag, but my friend was like, Cameron, stop, like don't do it until the applause. And I was like, girl, I'm not gonna do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess that just kind of got on my nerves for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
And I just sat there like mad like I do usually, and I kind of wanted that attention because also like we weren't talking as much because it was two other friends, but it was my one friend that was like sitting in the middle of us, and we weren't talking as much as we usually do like that night. So I was just kind of like, oh, we're not talking as much. And then that instance, I just kind of got annoyed.
Mm.
And then I was mad. And then she ended up saying something funny. I started laughing. And
And then
then
dismissed it, and y'all never really
kind
talked about it.
we actually did. Because
Oh, okay.
I actually snapped her and I was like, are we good? Like, um, I don't know what happened. And then we kind of talked about it. And I was like, I'm sorry, I was in the wrong. I kind of wanted attention, and um, like I'm sorry for basically lashing out at you. Cause I also like I don't know why I did it, but she like looked over at me, and I was like that, and
You know why you did it, because you felt some type of way, and it's okay. We all, yeah.
yeah, and I was just like, I'm sorry, like I really don't want like our friendship to end, because like we've become really good friends,
Mm-hmm.
and we met at the beginning of the school year, so
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's good that you do that, because I don't be doing that with my people. I need to work on it, y'all. And I'm going to work on it because we're working. But that's good that you're in a space where you can kind of come back to conversations and be able to, take responsibility for something that maybe you did wrong. Um, but in those moments too, definitely don't feel like you can't let somebody know how they impacted you too. Like, although you may have made it more than what it is, they did something to make you even feel that way. So make sure you're letting them know, how they impacted you in that way for you to even react. Because sometimes people will try to make you feel bad for your reaction, but it's like, okay, I initially felt some type of way by something you did to me too. Let me share that with you too, so that like, hey, this bothered me, that's why I drug it out this much. Like, so it's like everybody has some type of responsibility in every interaction. So definitely make sure, in those moments when you're, like taking responsibility and apologizing, that you're also letting people know that, hey, when you did this, it made me feel this way, and that's why you got the reaction that you did. Because you got to be aware of what is even making you feel bad, because that's the only way to even catch not being extra like that, or making it, more than what it is by you knowing, like, why did her saying that make me feel some type of way, so that you can be okay for the next situation. Because it's cool that you apologize, and it's cool that you took responsibility, but also, what even got you to that point? Like, what about her saying, like, Cameron, don't open it up right now, made you feel some type of way? Like, what was making you feel like you had to respond, like, with the attitude and everything like that? Because that's what's going to help you have different interactions in the future, is you knowing exactly what made you feel that way, so that you can show up differently, or you can communicate to your friends like, hey, maybe can you try not to micromanage me, because it felt like you were being my mom just then, and I got it. You know, stuff like that is more important than just the I'm sorry, I shouldn't have did this, because it can always happen again, and then that means you're going to be in a cycle of apologizing. So definitely be mindful of those moments that you're like snippy, you're upset, or you want attention. Communicating that before you get snippy, like we just talked about with mama, like, communicate it first that it made you feel some type of way, rather than dragging out being mad. Then again, your friends being your friends, they're gonna make you laugh, they're gonna make you feel good, and not being able to have like that real conversation about like what genuinely happened in that moment. But it is good that you had that moment, because I'm still working on having those moments. So I definitely am glad that you have those moments. um so uh Lastly, I'm going to talk. Well, it's two that I want to talk about. Do you find it hard trusting people?
Um, I would say trusting guys.
Okay.
Definitely. I don't really have any guy friends.
Okay.
Um, I think the only friend I guess you could consider is my friend's boyfriend.
Mm,
But like we're cool and we joke around a lot,
mm.
and I say he's annoying. He like not loves me, but like, you know.
Y'all have a cool relationship.
Yeah,
Because do you think you would have that relationship if he wasn't dating your friend?
probably not cuz I probably wouldn't talk to him.
Okay. Would you want more guy friends? Do you think you have a hard time having guy friends because you don't really have guys in your life, like family wise? Because I know that was for me. That's the reason why I don't talk to a lot of guys is because the relationships I have with like dad, Jeremy, just the men in my life. I don't really have relationships with them, and so I have a hard time having relationships with men, especially now because men, all they do is think you want to date them, and then as soon as the dating part or the sex part or whatever doesn't go the way in which it's supposed to go, it's like they immediately leave. It's like nobody really genuinely wants to have a friendship with the woman, and so for me, it's just really hard finding like really good dudes to trust that I don't have to be sexual with or be their girlfriends or whatever. Like I can just be their friends. I have a hard time with that. So do you think like not having a relationship with dad or Jeremy kind of impacts like why you have a hard time trusting men in your life?
I think that it's mainly cuz like I can't relate with them,
Mm-hmm.
especially being gay
Mm-hmm.
and them being straight.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of why I have more friends that are girls.
Mm-hmm.
And like right now, like I'm friends with most of the girls in our grade.
Mm-hmm.
There's some that I just like whenever I see them, I'm kind of like, oh, I don't really know her, haven't seen her, or others where I just don't like her. This one girl, don't our whole friend group doesn't like her, but
Okay.
but yeah, and I just feel like I wouldn't be able to talk to any of the guys.
Do you think is guys that like stuff that you like and they just don't say it, or like what do you think the biggest barrier is? Because something I'm noticing too is like on the outside looking in, people may look like they like one thing, but you really get to know them. Like honestly, as an adult, I've learned that a lot of black dudes love anime, but a lot of them don't really say it, and they're slowly coming out saying like that they like stuff like that and stuff like that. So, do you think it's that where it may be more dudes that have more things in common with you that may like the Korean stuff and everything, but they just don't say it, so you can't really connect off of that? Or do you think it's really genuinely because you're gay, they're straight, and y'all just have nothing in common?
Um, I know in middle school, like what you said, because a lot of my class was black, and most of them watched anime and all of that stuff. Um, but I just feel like um seeing as of now, like seeing how they act, and a lot of the guys in our grade do sports and different things like that. Um, well, I'm not friends with them, but some of the, not to say like nerdy guys, but like
Dweebs. It's okay. And no, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No names on them. The smart people, the extra
I
smart,
yeah,
or the smart in a different way, like book smart, the book smart people.
yeah, I talk to them um a bit like
Mm,
when we're in class and stuff like that, and it's usually because like they're like at our table and stuff.
mm,
um but I feel like most of the other guys that like my friends are friends with them, they're just like sports. That's it. Like,
Mm. They don't really
yeah,
talk about nothing else. So it seems
no,
like a barrier. Would you want more guy friends?
not really. No,
If even if y'all have like same things in common, would you want more guy friends?
may both. Yes,
Okay,
yes,
because I was about to say,
yeah,
wait a minute.
yeah.
Okay, I got it. Because I'm like, I definitely want more guy friends, but as a woman, it's gonna be hard to come across them. So I'm thinking that all my guy friends are gonna come when I find my husband, and then his friends, my friends, because it's really hard on the opposite end. So for you, because it's like gay straight, it's hard because one, you gotta find straight people that are okay with your sexuality and not thinking that you're trying to be with them. And then for you, being able to even be okay with that boundary too, because a lot of the straight people you're probably going to end up being attracted to just off the simple fact that they're straight, masculine, all that other stuff, and being able to maintain that boundary. So it's hard because that sounds like what it is for me is like, even if I was to get like attractive friends, at some point my mind would think to cross the line because you're attractive and why can't I have you type of thing. So I can understand where that boundary would come in at, but yeah, it sucks not being able to trust like guys and like maybe right now you can't think of how it may correlate, but for me, I know that there's definitely a correlation because we didn't have the relationship with our dad. Like that essential masculine presence makes us have a hard time even being able to find it like in life. And so for me, I just wish that that wasn't stripped away from us so that we know how to navigate it better. Because I've always had a hard time navigating it because when I did have close guy friends when I was younger, I always ended up liking them. When I let them know I like them, then that kind of ruined the friendship. So then it's like, damn, I can't even be friends with guys for real, because I'm gonna end up liking them, and then they're gonna run away. And so I really stopped trying to even make friends with guys. I really kept guys at arm's length. And now when I do get close to guys, like they want sex, they want the physical, and it's like, yeah, sex is cool, whatever, but I really just want to be friends. And that is so hard to come across. So it sucks that, that is hard for you, especially because I feel like it's the same experience, but probably a little bit different because you're a dude. So everybody thinks you're supposed to be able to have the guy friends, but because of your orientation or even just the things you like to do, it's hard finding the guys that have the same likes and interests that you can be cool with. That's not a boyfriend or whatever. So, and then lastly, self esteem. Do you feel like your self esteem has been impacted as you have gone through being emotionally neglected? So, an example, or for me, I feel like my self esteem definitely dropped from maybe high school all the way through college, and now I'm like slowly rising it back. Well, I ain't gonna say slowly, like I'm rising it back up, but I definitely allowed myself to be in situations that I knew I shouldn't have been in. I allowed myself to go through things. Even right now, that's why I just put the phone on do not disturb. It's because like, um, and it's like you battle because you try to do something different, but then you're still putting yourself in the same situation. So it's like, at what point are you tired of getting the same results and everything? Do you find yourself starting to put yourself in the same situations, getting the same results, or doing stuff that doesn't really align with you? Like, where when you look in the mirror, like you're proud of yourself for doing those things, or do you have more times where you look in the mirror and be like, yo, what the fuck am I doing right now? Like, who am I right now? Like,
I feel like right now I don't feel that. Um, I guess I kind of don't get into those situations.
mm-hmm,
Um, I feel like anything that I do is because like I want to do it and it makes me feel good.
Okay. Okay. Um, so you don't feel like a low sense of self worth or anything like that? Like, do you feel like you're harder on yourself than you need to be? Or, because even when giving yourself the things you want, that doesn't necessarily equate to high self esteem either. Because the things you want are not necessarily always the things that you need. So, do you have a balance? Because from us looking at you, there is no balance of getting the things you need and the things you want. It seems like right now you're only giving yourself the things that you want, and you're going down a path of low self-esteem, because that's where it starts. Is you forget about the things that you need, only give yourself the things that you want in order to feel good. But that ends up, bad grades, could possibly get kicked out of school, get in trouble at home. So is that really high self esteem, or what is that?
Low self-esteem.
Okay, so it seems like you're kind of traveling down that road right now. So we definitely would want to start working on that, because it's tricky when you feel like, okay, I'm making myself feel good, but in life, we're not always supposed to feel good. Like, there's supposed to be a certain sense of like responsibility that is going to make us feel uncomfortable, but even that alone helps us to be well rounded. And so, right now, if you're only giving yourself the things that you want, I would say that that's dangerous, because when, like we were just saying earlier, when it's time to do the things that you need to do, you don't do them. But those are the things that you are ultimately really going to want to do. Because if you say you never get your grades back on track and you get kicked out of school, now you don't get to be around your friends, you don't get to, do the activities you've been doing at school, or going to those different things that you've been going to, like the games and that stuff. Do you really think your self-esteem is high at that point?
No.
Because then you're not really going to be doing the things you truly want to do, which is being around your friends, connecting with everybody, being at a school you wanted to be at, So that's why I'm like, you're giving yourself things that you want, but is it going to get you the results that you want? That's why I'm like worried that your self esteem might be lowering, is because you're not really thinking about the bigger picture. And it's okay too, because you're still a child and you're not going to be thinking about those things, but as time goes on, that's what it's going to end up leading to. And that's the things that I'm working on myself, is not being so in the moment and thinking about the bigger picture, because the bigger picture is we have goals and things we want to do. If you get kicked out of that school, whatever schools you had in mind to go to after high school, those probably get thrown out the door. Now you definitely don't get to be around your friends because you can't even apply to the schools. So then your like self-esteem really hits the ground, or it's already been hitting the ground and you're slowly messing up your life because you're doing the things that you want to do, but not the things that you need to do. So I'd say just think about that a little more. I don't want to tell you your self esteem is low. I don't want to put that on your life, especially if you haven't really thought about that. But I would say just think that over, because really your self esteem is how you show up, whether good or bad. And making sure that you get the things that you need as well as the things that you want. And if you're not doing that for yourself, if you're only giving yourself half of that, which is all the stuff that feels good, then that can lead you to a bad result. And we don't want that to happen. We definitely want to make sure that you get everything you desire and more. So think about those things as you continue to go through life. I just said go, especially high school, because I do know you're also in the stage where everything's hitting you like it's on a break. You got puberty, you got responsibility, you got dating, friends, all that could come to a child at one time. You got it coming at you. So definitely keep an inventory of where you are mentally, so that you're not falling in a hole that you are going to have the hardest time climbing out of. But yeah, is there anything else that you want to share, like when it comes to like your emotions and being tended to, that maybe you would want us to pay attention to more? I know we talked about some things, but do you feel like anything has been left unsaid when it comes to emotional neglect?
Um, Maybe just like being recognized when I do start crying during those moments and stuff like that. And maybe some days, like being asked, like, are you okay? How are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
Um, is there anything that you're struggling with? Just kind of having those type of talks.
Okay. So just being checked in on more.
Yeah.
Okay. And do you think it would be helpful if you reach out to and say, hey, I need to talk, or I would like to talk? Because as much as we can reach out to you, we also got life too. And so if you need us, feeling comfortable to reach out to us too, because it's going to have to be a 50-50 type of situation where, yeah, we can reach out to you and we can check in. But as you get older, and you're older now, you have a phone. You don't always have to call the girls. You can say, hey, I need to talk. Or, hey, how are you doing? And now we get to ask you, how are you doing back? You know? Do you think you feel comfortable starting to do those too? Because if that's something you need, I would encourage you to start doing it too, so that we can even know that it is something you need.
Um, I think it might take some time.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe as I grow up more, it'll be something that I can make more like I guess reoccurring,
Mm-hmm.
or something that I start to do.
Mm-hmm.
Right now it's kind of hard because I feel like sometimes I don't know what I'm going through, or if I like feel bad about something, or um if something is kind of affecting me negatively.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And it doesn't always have to be negative either. Um, Definitely reach out even when things are positive if you want to share it. Like I said, we can definitely work on reaching out to you and helping you to feel seen and listening to you when needed. But part of a relationship is that you do the same thing here, because we be wanting those things too. Not necessarily specifically just from you, but you can reach out and check in on us too. Like, just because we're the older ones don't mean we ain't losing our minds and going through the same shit. So, I know it can be hard to think about being that for people, because I don't even do it. So I'm not going to tell you you have to, because I don't do it sometimes, which is reaching out and checking in on people. Like, I do think about it, and when I think about it, I do send a text or call, but I don't think about it all the time because life be life, and then I'll be going through my own stuff. But when you do think about it, pick up the phone and send a text and be like, hey, how you doing? I haven't talked to you all week. Whether that's mommy, calling mommy and saying, hey, mommy, I haven't heard from you all week. Or me, or Shanta, or Jeremy, you know, because we're all kind of neglected in this family. And I think we're so used to being neglected that we don't even be thinking to reach out to show anybody to be seen. I know I talked about not being seen or heard in my previous episodes. And so I keep myself hidden most of the time is because I feel like I've never been seen or heard. But it's great for people to see and hear you, but how are you showing up, making yourself seen and heard too? Because it takes two to do that. Like, you don't have to just wait for us to see and hear you. You can declare that I'm somebody to be seen and heard. So, it's not going to be easy, but, like I said, when you think about it, like, hey, I haven't talked to my sister like all week, or I haven't talked to my brother all week, or I haven't talked to my mom all week. Let me see how she's doing. Whenever the thought comes up, kind of acting on that so that you can practice being seen and heard, because then you can take that skill and apply it to everybody, not just your family. You could do that with your friends. Like, girl, I ain't talked to you because you laughing, but when y'all go to college, all of y'all not gonna go to the same college. So what do you do when this one's at in NYC, or this one's at Stanford, or this one's there? What do you do when nobody has been seen or heard because they're at different schools? Do you wait for them to reach out to you and be like, because what if they don't? But you miss them just as much as they miss you. So who's going to be the first one to be like, let me declare that I'm somebody to be seen and heard, and let me check in to start the conversation? I will say, don't get used to being the one that's seen and heard, because it kind of can make you feel slighted that you the one that got to show up all the time. But definitely start practicing declaring that you have a voice that's worthy to be heard, because we all do. And I think when we're neglected, we sometimes forget that we have just as much power as the person that's reaching out to us. So, but anything else?
No, I'm good.
All right. So that is our conversation about emotional neglect, y'all. Hope you were able to take something from it. This is our first time on the camera together, so it is what it was and it is what it is. But hopefully, you can get an idea of how to go about having that conversation with your sibling or any child around you, because it may feel weird, and there was moments and pauses of thinking, but it's not hard, and that's the goal, is to show y'all that it's not impossible to have these conversations, and they're necessary, because I learned some new things. But we had started talking before this, so I already knew some things, but I learned some things too. So hopefully you did too, and hopefully this conversation helped you a little bit. Anything you want to pass along to the listeners, the watchers?
I would say don't be afraid to talk to anyone around you. It can definitely help get out some emotions that you feel, and it can definitely help anyone around you understand how you're feeling and kind of help um, to communicate with that person and um, make sure that they like understand how you feel in certain situations.
Yeah. So I like that. Words of wisdom from my little brother. And words of wisdom from me, Deja. So yes, thank you for listening and tuning in. Thank you for having a conversation with me.
Thank you.
Definitely we'll have him back to go over some more stuff. We're not going to keep it so focused on aces. We're probably going to go into some more stuff, because I do want to talk about other experiences that come up for you as they come up for you. But this is our first one. Hope you all like it. Bye. Hey y'all, so I hope you enjoyed the last 2 weeks with my brother. I really did. I really loved the conversation. I am so happy that I got my sibling, one of them rather, onto the episodes. So I can't wait to start incorporating everybody else in. I'm glad he was the first one to start off. Next week will be just me, because yeah, just me. Got to figure out what I want to talk about. But we're going to talk about something that takes us deep, because we got to keep going deep and we got to keep evolving, growing, and all that good jazz. But yeah, I hope y'all like that. And I want to do more conversations where I'm talking with people, because I like being able to bounce off of other people for a conversation. Like, yeah, I can carry a whole podcast, But it was nice being able to talk with somebody during the podcast. So definitely keep an eye out or ear out for more episodes in the future with the rest of my family as I reel them into this lovely show. But until then, you'll get me, and I hope you enjoy me. So yeah, like, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And then you can stream me on all streaming platforms. And yeah, I hope you all have a great rest of your day, night, week, whatever. But I hope you all have a great rest of your time after you get done looking at this video. This is Talk Your Shit with Deja, where we drop the out because not only can I talk my shit, but I want you to talk your shit too. Bye.